works. You never know until you go live. Greetings, humans. Greetings. And welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here. Yo, Soy Bear, 29-year veteran in the woods, and today, I tell you what, people, we have actually got a very interesting show. It is Bear's, I tell you what, 4-year anniversary coming up. Close enough on Friday. I don't know if we're going to do a show on Friday. Might just do the show on Saturday, but here we are, a grand achievement nonetheless. Okay. Good to see VM here. Let's see, he says, did Cecil run away with the money? Donald DeLay said that he finished the art in January 2021. Really? I did not. I thought he finished that a little bit later or something like that. Unfortunately, VM Bear did not have a ready-to-go answer for you on Cash Grab, but I would say, I would say it's there in the title there. I think it's there in the title. Yes, indeed. Good to see VM here. Anyways, let's go ahead and we actually were talking a little bit about this the other day, talking a little bit about the campaign of he's known as Young Ripper out there, the Ripperverse. He had a campaign that came out, $1 million in the first day. Well, actually in the first, I don't know, what was that, like the first 12 or 14 hours or something. So very cool, very much a thumbs up to that campaign over there. And also we have, also talking about your boy Zach, bringing out his $1 We've actually got some stuff here, just a moment there, but it's a very interesting, Beer said at the time, it says, let's go ahead, let's wait, let's see what happens, let's see what goes on with some of this stuff and kind of make a prediction, I guess you could say, a sort of analysis of what happens there. So we'll go ahead and do a little bit of that here today. Of course, your campaign updates as well. And some news. We actually have some news out there, people. Yes, indeed. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. Let's see. Do we want to go ahead and let's just go ahead and start it off here with some campaign updates, including, it would help if I actually had that there, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. There we go. And finally, Bear has the chat up. Yes, indeed. It only took Bear 4 years. But he finally figured it out. Yes, indeed. Talking about USAssassin. I always added the extra A in there. Okay, a USAssassin versus Graveyard Shift Ultimate Edition. It's going into the final days, people. Yes, indeed. And this was, it was a couple days ago. So you've only got a little bit of time left here. Thank you for supporting Honta Pizza LLC. But time is running out for our USAssassin versus Graveyard Shift Ultimate Edition campaign. People, there's only 5 days left. And our next stretch goal is at 15K. At that amount, all backers will receive a Joe and Sontag, a print of USAssassin versus Graveyard Shift, featuring his character Reaper the Destroyer. So actually I've got the, let me find that here. There we go. And there you go. As a valued customer, we also want to remind you that there's only 12 spots left in Mike McMahon's crazy, amazing deal here, people. Amazing deal here. 11 by 17 commission of a quality, quote-unquote, sketched here. It's only $75. Not a bad job from the good Mike out there. This is only available, unfortunately, in the United States, but people, it includes free shipping. In addition, we're also still having a link to the secret discounted tier. Let me bring that up here in a second. There we go. You will get the fan pack, which includes the USAssassin volume number 4. Excuse me, yes, 4. Bear is not very well with his Roman numerals out there. Ashcan preview, as well as the softbound and hardbound editions of the USA versus Graveyard Shift edition for only $65. And there you go. And I'm assuming, I remember, I think it was Mike McMahon that did the center cover there, and I think it was Eric Nanoltowski that did the cover there on the right, or excuse me, on the left there. And of course, Mike McMahon's interesting sketch, quote unquote, sketches out there. Yes, indeed. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So that is a good campaign out there if people don't know too much about USAssassin. A great campaign out there. The good Mike McMahon out there. The good Mike. I tell you what, leveling up every time here. USAssassin was good. The second one was probably even better. Graveyard Shift. I tell you what, you've got two different books out there clashing in on one another. Yes, indeed. Good to see P Money here. It is Wednesday, and Bear is leaving the cave to discuss all sorts of things. All sorts of things. In fact, let me find it here 1 second, people, because we actually had a little bit. I didn't. I should have went back onto Indiegogo to kind of look at some of this stuff, but we actually have. I hope this is the right one. Oh, for crying out loud! Why is it not doing it? Let's see. Is it doing? Okay. 1 second here, people. I tell you what. Let me go back to the sketch there. I tell you what. You try to do this ahead of time, and then of course OBS crashes on you. And you've got to figure it out while you're doing it live. All right, let me see if I can do the 1 second here, people. Let's turn it. Okay. Well, anyways, we were actually talking about. No, it's not that one. Yes, it's that one. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me do that. Okay, and then go back. And then you do the thing with it. Why is it not showing up? Oh, there we go. Finally. For crying out loud. I tell you what, you try and do this ahead of time. You get it all set up. And then, of course, OBS crashes and everything that you've done. It just goes down the tube there. We have a black screen. Not the black screen. I'm sorry, people. Sorry about that very much. All right, getting right into it here. Talking about Jawbreakers Forever, but a little bit more kind of a 100,000-foot view of everything here. But Jawbreakers Forever, very good. He's got $108,000 raised in, gosh, what was that? Maybe a week? About a week or so. Very good. I think he had a majority of that up. At the very kind of front loaded a little bit there. 3,658 backers. Congratulations. Your boy Zach. And we're going to get into it just a little bit here, but he did not do this with any live streams whatsoever. I just went ahead and launched it, and there you go. He made a great $108,000. Yes, indeed. So, let's, I tell you what, people, let me get to it first, because otherwise it might not work. Let's see. Hold our breath here. Hold our breath. Let's see if it works. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, 1 second here, people. Let's see, why is this not... why is this not working here? Let's see. Okay, you do that. Okay, and then you go back, and hopefully, let's see, is it... 1 second here, people. There we go, finally. I'm sorry about all that. Oh, BS. Oh, BS. Yes, indeed. Also from your boy Zach out there, he actually kind of lays it out here. So let's go ahead and get into it here. Your money at work. Finally, Bear's money, well, little Timmy McDemerson's money is finally getting to work. It's about time. Let's see. That is impressive. 3,600 backers and $100,000. Means a lot of those 3,600 backers bought more than the dollar book. Well, he was trying to do kind of at a certain point, I think it was 24 hours that he was doing the $1 book. He extended it as long as there was, like, I believe it was a 2-to-1 ratio with some of the other books out there. So I assume that kind of went on the wayside, but we'll go ahead and get right on into it here, because it kind of shows where all the money went. Hi, everyone. Hi, ya boy. Some people are interested in the entire process of crowdfunding comics. Pardon me. So I thought I would share about the financial side. Yesterday, I received my first payout from Indiegogo for Jawbreakers Forever. It usually arrives a week or so after the initial campaign ends, so we did end the campaign. Funds earned during in-demand are paid out monthly. IGG takes its cut, but also withholds a percentage to cover the money for refunds. that's something very interesting for Bear. So we were talking a little bit about young Rippa and his sort of comic. So he is, as far as Bear knows, I haven't seen it. I don't recall if it's on Indiegogo. I think he is doing it on his own. I think it's called Rippaverse.com or something to that effect. He's doing it on his own site and everything. So it was kind of interesting for Bear to read that they actually held a percentage for refunds. So I'm wondering if young Rippa actually has some stuff set aside just in case. And let's just say somebody, I don't know, $50,000 in refunds or something like that. You want to have that kind of set aside. So you're kind of getting out from underneath the Indiegogo cut, but they also kind of have their own website. They deal with credit card processing and all that sorts of stuff. So I would say it's probably for a artist out there that doesn't want to worry about a lot of that stuff. I would say it's probably a very reasonable rate out there. Bear's never seen the exact cut that IGD takes out, but I think I've heard it's relatively reasonable, like within the 5, 10, maybe 15% range there. Let's see. Months before the campaign begun, I paid for all 50 story pages, as well as the cover from the profits that I made on previous campaigns. Once I received the funds for Jawbreakers Forever, I immediately paid the rest of the creative team. Very good, very good. That would be the colorist, the letterer, the pinup artist, digital prepress, etc. Once I've worked with someone a few times, I trust them enough to pay them in advance. Very cool. This allows me not to worry about overspending and or running out of money. All of production has now been paid for, and I can estimate for printing very soon. If we, hopefully printing very soon, if we maintain a modest pace of 10 sales per day for these 60 days of the campaign, then we'll end up with around 4,300 backers. I'll probably print, your boy says, around 5,000 books and use the remaining as remainders as add-ons for future campaigns. Believe it or not, printing for Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar was paid for in December of 2020. Well, I wonder if P-Money believes that or not. Bear never got, I never ordered that on that campaign. Got it on the new one, so that'll be interesting. Wonder if Grand Bazaar, wonder if the third one will come in before. I wonder if the third book, shipping with the fourth book will come in before the third book's campaign. That would be interesting. None of this would be possible if I had to rely on the broken model of the direct market. Very interesting. Trust that your money is well spent and appreciated. Once again, thanks. And that would be Richard C. Meyer out there. So Bear kind of came across something kind of interesting the other night. A couple nights ago, P-Money, or excuse me, I apologize, P-Money. Jiminy was saying, Uncle E is over there doing a stream just as Bear was ending his stream. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what's going on. I got to tell you something, people. Some of the Comicsgate shows, past couple months or something like that, have not really been interesting for Bear. They've kind of been a sort of hangout stream, an occasional launch of a book or something like that. But usually just kind of Ethan and friends out there, which is fine. I mean, if that's what you want to hang out with, or just kind of hang out with friends or something, nothing wrong with that. Bear's not complaining about that, but just kind of, it was kind of just kind of the same old sort of thing. So Bear kind of stepped away a little bit from some of those videos for a while. First time kind of checking it out with the other day. Actually, they were talking about your boy Zach. He was coming out and not doing a live stream for his campaign that he had coming up here. So he didn't do a live stream, ended up making, let me go back to it here, people, if, for crying out loud, if it'll do it. There we go. So he ended up raising close to $100,000 like within the first day there, and a good amount over the next couple of days there. People kind of coming in. Did Bear just confuse me with Cricket? I apologize, people. Sometimes it's hard to remember. Rattling around there in Bear's brain. So anyways, your boy Zach got $100,000, didn't do a single live show. That was kind of the sort of theme for EVS's show that night. I don't know sometimes, like, is it manufactured drama? Is it a sort of misunderstanding? Some of this stuff, uh, it could be it could be smoothed over with just a simple phone call or text or something like that. So some of the stuff, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit manufactured. You never know. But there was kind of a big deal whether or not the live stream section of things is that moving the ball forward as far as Comicsgate out there. Well, your boy Zach says, hey, I don't need no stinking live streams. I can do it myself. I can launch it on my channel. I can say, hey everybody, here's the book. Go check it out. It's opening. Whatever, July 4th or whenever it was. So he was able. Now the sort of flip side to that would be to say, oh well, if you had done, 14 hours of live stream continuous, you would have made $200,000, your boy, instead of just $100,000. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to compare that. The only way that Zach out there compared it was he says, okay, I launched. I forget which book he was talking about. It might have been. I don't think it was. No, it couldn't have been the Expendables, because the Expendables came out 100,000, somewhere right around there or something like that. So it was another book that he came out with. About $40,000 or so is what he said that he came out with it. Doing the live show, so he says, hey, I'm better spent with my time not doing a live show for 12, 14, 18, 24 hours, whatever it is. Let me go ahead and just focus in on the work that I gotta do. I'll put up a video on the occasion, but go ahead and just do it my own way. The sort of counter argument to that would be, well, you're not out there doing the live show. You're not connecting with the fans. I think your boy out there has done. I think he's done pretty well for himself with connecting with some of the fans out there. So let me take a drink here. So that's one side of it. That's kind of we kind of had a stagnation with Comicsgate out there. It was the pattern of, okay, I've got a book come out, let me kind of announce it. Hopefully people are checking it out. And then, okay, let's go ahead and launch it on whatever the launch day is. Have like a, 2, 3, 5, 7, 24-hour long live stream, however long it went, to do it that way. And basically use YouTube as your sort of promotional material out there to kind of help bring everybody together and also promote your book. Speaking of promoting books out there, we got the great Jeff Potts out there. Actually, I need to, hold on just one second, Jeff. Let me do the thing with the thing, and... 1 second, people. Beer had just a great rant and thought out there. Okay, there you go. Jeff, if you want to put in a link for your book out there, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. All right, Bear was somewhere. Okay, a little bit of stagnation out there with the Comicsgate, how some of the books are made. Again, nothing wrong with doing live streams or anything like that, but we actually have now a sort of way to compare some of this stuff. So your boy, you see him, he did $108,000, not even doing a single live show. Then on the complete other flip side of it, you have young Rippa out there, did $1 million with less than 24 hours with his campaign out there. He kind of also does live streams, but he does it mainly with the sort of fandom menace sort of crowd. He kind of goes in between some of the crowds there, but sort of mainly with that sort of what would it be? Nerdrotic out there with some of the other ones there. The Mauler, the Babyface, and a number of other folks out there. The geeks and grifters out there, that sort of stuff. So what did he say my wife was? Oh, Jeff, I just gave you the, what do you call that? The moderator thing. So go ahead and put up your, if you want to put up a link for your book, go ahead and do that. Speaking of books out there. So anyways, Rippa out there made quite a bit of money, kind of doing it his own way. Again, he's not going through Indiegogo, but he has his sort of own audience out there, a lot larger audience, a much larger audience out there, so that kind of brought in a larger prospective number of backers out there, number one, and then just a larger number of actual backers out there that backed the book to completion there. So very cool. Also, the other thing that he did really well that Beer would say, and also your boy out there, not quite finished with his printing and everything, but Beer's understanding that young Rippa has already made his book. They're just sitting in the warehouses ready to go. Let's compare that a little bit with our friend out there, Uncle E. So again, Beer was watching. Gosh, they were doing. It was supposed to be an auction on the weekend. They never got around to doing the auction on the weekend because I don't know, cigars and steaks or something. I don't know what they were doing. That's nice to flaunt that. So anyways, they had it doing on Monday. Evidently became like a 7-8 hour long live stream or something like that. Towards the very end there, a kind of interesting thing. I wish I would have came back and clipped it out. Although I can't do sound on this for some reason. I tell you what. Sure thing, Jeff. Sure thing. The Revenant and the Tomb. Go check that out. Go check that out, people. So Uncle E was there, kind of late in the evening there. Again, one of these sorts of drinking streams. I don't know. Beer enjoys his beer out there, but I don't know if I would do a show just completely wasted. Beer would worry about just letting loose sometimes. So, anyways, kind of towards the very end of the stream there, the 7 or 8 hour mark or something like that, poor Uncle E, kind of as a sort of kind of a regret, I guess, a little bit, but it was a little bit kind of a defeatist a little bit. I was kind of very worried that he didn't have as many backers as young Rippa did. Young Rippa reached the $1 million mark in the first day. Uncle E, I think, took, oh gosh, it was about a month, maybe a couple weeks or something like that to reach his $1 million milestone there. So very much lamenting the fact that here's this guy that has so many more backers and viewers than I do, and goshly, I really wish that I had more backers or more viewers, I should say, on the live stream there. Beer's kind of like, okay, you've had over 1,000 people on your live stream. You had a number of artwork going for really good. I think somebody had just sold like one for about $1,000 or something like that. So a number of people who were out there spending the money, doing all the great stuff out there, and still the lament of, oh gosh, I don't have that many. I don't have any more, super chats or whatever. Again, I mean, I thought it was a little bit. How do I put that? A little sad, a little bit, kind of. But at the same time, Beer kind of went with that, was kind of like, oh, that was kind of sad. But at the same time, kind of after thinking about it just a little bit, I says, that's a perfect opportunity here for people. Because in the past, I mean, you had Uncle E kind of on his own, kind of the top crown, kind of looking down on all the other artists out there, kind of doing some of their stuff. I would do stuff like you would have like John Malin and who was it? Shane Davis, kind of going back and back with their campaigns. Who's gonna do better with their campaign? I'm sure as one of the artists there with the campaign, I'm sure that was pretty stressful. You want to win, but at the same time, it's kind of stressful at the same time. So Uncle E's never had that sort of competition before. So now we've got not only your boy Zach out there doing it, but also Rippa as well. Hopefully, Bear's hope here is this might actually light a fire under Uncle E's large tuchus there. Hopefully we're actually going to get a little bit more quicker turnaround with Cyberfrog 2. Hopefully there's a little bit of oh gosh, these other people are doing really well, so I need to step up my game just a little bit. So hopefully I want to draw some hopefulness out of that rather than being some sort of, a lament of all the people that have been there through all the years. Oh, you're just not good enough. I wish that I had more people out there to bask in my glory out there. I thought that was kind of a sort of defeatist moment, but at the same time, hey, maybe after the next day or something like that. Oh well, I gotta get going on this Cyberfrog 2 book. So hopefully that will be part of it there. Heads are exploding on Twitter over Eureka's success. Very good. As they should. As they should. A wasted bear live stream. I can see dollar signs right now. Well, there you go. There you are. Anyways, so just something kind of interesting to kind of think about there is a little competition is always the best kind of lubricant out there if you want to get your the campaign that you're hopefully been waiting on for what a year and a half, 2 years now. Hopefully, finally get that going here. Yes, indeed. All right, let's move on a little bit more here. Another one here that Bear kind of wants to put a shine on here. I tell you, Alterna Comics kind of becoming one of Bear's sort of not only a turnaround, a really great turnaround, but also kind of matching with your boy Zach out there. A great price. He is doing some of his books for $1. Some of them about $2 or something like that. But very good. Again, they're sort of newsprint quality, so it's not the high standard that we're all used to. But hey, it's a great deal. So if you want to check it out, you might get a Velcro patch hat. You can get that either in black or gray or even navy if you enjoy navy out there. 3 Velcro patch hats have been added. He kind of does a sort of a weekly refresh on some of the stuff. I'm trying to remember what he did last week. I can't remember if his beanies or something like that. Anyways, he was doing something last week. He's got the hats this week. For your hats group. Along with 2 new Velcro patches that fit perfectly on the front of the hats. There we go. And he's also got, if you want to stir your drink and keep it cool, he's got a cool drink tumbler out there. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of time left to reach our goal, but we're getting closer every day, and thank you for support from Publishing Pete. Yes, indeed. Very cool. Take a drink here. There we go. There we are. Yes, indeed. Alright, moving on. The last one here. I think this is the last one here. Is it? Wait, hold on. 1 second here, people. Let me find it. Yeah. I thought, where is it? One of these days. There we go. There we go. One of these days, we will actually do a professional show. Not today, though. Not today, unfortunately. So, we actually have, oops, my bad, people. We actually have another one from Brian Shearer out there with the Gunship Thunderpunch. He says a big batch of pages. Well, let's actually show those. Where are we talking about it? When we can show it. There we go. Very cool. Hey, Thunderpunch crew, he says. I've been jamming on the end of the book, and I wanted to get you all a taste of the finished pages. There's a few missing in this sequence. He says, I don't want to spoil everything. One of the challenges of this book has been making the scenes where the crew is on board not seem visually monotonous. The blue floating heads, very interesting, help break things up when they're talking to Thunderpunch. There you go, very cool. I will be closing the in-demand this summer, which is soon, yes it is. So if you have any friends that want to get on board, let them know. And that's from Brian Shearer out there with the floating heads. You never knew that when you got your Gunship Thunderpunch book, you wanted your fighting robots. You never know that you're going to have a floating blue heads in there. Yes, indeed. So there you go. There you are. Very cool. I'm very much looking forward to Gunship. The first book, very good. A really good book, the first book there. So hopefully, it kind of left on a cliffhanger too. So you gotta kind of hold on and figure out what's going on with Gunship out there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let me. Oh, okay. So that cycled through. Very good. Very good. There we go. All right, and was there another one? No, there was not another one. Well, that just brings us right back to where we were. Yes, indeed. All right, let me clear the deck here, people. clear the deck because we actually have some very interesting news out there. If Bear can find it. I just backed Gunship Thunderpunch II, says Jeff Potts. There you go. Very cool. A good book out there. Bear approved. It is Bear approved. Alright, let me do the thing with the thing, and hopefully... Oh, I took down the, gosh darn it. There we go. I took down that. Alright, the news of the day, people. The news of the day. Yes, indeed. Our continuing saga here with, Ezra Miller and the Flash out there, from Bounding into Comics, the great J.B. Augustine out there. Yes, indeed. A rumor, we talked a little bit about this last week. Ellen, whatever, Page, Mr. or Mrs. Page, is being considered to replace Ezra Miller as the Flash. Yes, indeed. Someone might be in the conversation to replace Ezra Miller in the role of the Flash, even though Warner Brothers Discovery has made it perfectly clear through their inaction that they are sticking with the powder keg of an actor, and it's the unorthodox candidate of Elliot Page, or Ellen Page, however you pronounce it. So we talked a little bit about this week. Still, I kind of looks like Justin Bieber, I guess. I don't know. Kind of. Anyways, moving on. An insider who has the ear of geekosity tells the site that although no discussions with Mr. or Mrs. Page has begun, the trans actor is someone Warner Brothers Discovery will look for at the role. Why? However, this is the only once the Flash movie has been released and done whatever kind of business it can. I don't know if flushing money down the toilet is business, but there you go. The plan is still to release the movie in theaters and recoup any losses from the investment. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. The Flash already cost the studio. People, I can't. Bear can't even imagine. Why would they spend $200 million on a Flash movie? Why? It boggles Bear's mind. Already cost the studio an extreme amount of $200 million, and Geekosity noted that further reshoots would replace Miller digitally would cost an extra $200 million. What? Just burn the negatives and start all over again. Why would you reshoot the movie for the same cost that it costs to shoot the movie? This doesn't make sense, people. I still say just write it off. Write it off. Crazy. His presence throughout the entire film exacerbates the matter. It's known from the trailer and the DC Fandom 2021 sneak preview that Miller also plays two alternate versions of Barry Allen, who team up to fix the timeline. Oh, well, that may... Okay. Yeah, okay, so there he is, and there he is in the background. And is that a female Flash back there? I don't know, whatever. But according to leaks from test screenings, he also plays a third Barry. Holy cow, there's too many Barrys. Who is ultimately the evil responsible for messing up the multiverse. I hate when that happens. Reshoots would cover the 3 parts portrayed by Miller, who's in almost every scene. Why? Why would you do that? Oh, for crying out loud. Just have Henry Cavill come in, have him with his big mustache and just pretend he's the Flash. And it would work. It would work. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Just shoot it in front of a green screen, but don't put any of the digital effects in. Just like have Henry Cavill just kind of like running in place with his mustache and like, I'm the Flash, rah! And then there you go. There's your movie. You saved $299.99 million right there. Recasting equals reshooting, and reshooting equals the same original movie budget. Why? That brings the Flash to at least $400 million price tag. They won't break even. No, they'll break. They're just crazy. Miller in the quote quagmire of scandals that includes multiple harassments, videotape assaults, child grooming, holding up on a pot farm with large amounts of military-grade firearms. Warner is turning the other cheek, so to speak, but the public is not, and they're coming up with ideas for replacements. And that's where Page comes in, Mr. or Mrs. In Twitter is leading the charge to vouch for the Umbrella Academy star. Behind Arrowverse Flash, Grant Gustin, Page is gaining in popularity as the favorite to play the new Scarlet Speeder, at least along the Twitter activists. And apparently Warner Brothers Discovery executives. Oh God, why? Why? Is this like the Venom 2 sort of meme out there? Is that what's going on here? I think that might be what's going on just a little bit here. Let's see. P-Money says, I always wonder if Bear picks his black and white photos by a random generator, spin generator, and picture of flowers hanging on people's necks. No, actually, Bear had some of this from when he was doing his You Can't, It Can't Happen Here kind of series. So he's got a bunch of the old Hawaiian pictures that he has, and I've actually started kind of reusing some of those, but and there you go. That's where they come from. 2 Ezra Millers. I knew 3 Trace Millers. I knew he couldn't run those child camps by himself. Anyways, this is owing to experience in the X-Men and Umbrella Academy franchises, which are very heavy on sci-fi elements, especially time. What does that have to do with anything? Page would keep the Flash's character in the hands of a trans non-binary. Why is that important? When did the Flash become trans? We all know that Spider-Man is gay, but the Flash becoming trans is new. I did not expect that one. Keep in mind, this is an activist campaign. Like the Amber Heard petitions may not go anywhere initially. Blah 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 blah. What do you think? Blah blah blah. We already know what Bear thinks. We already know what Bear thinks. What do you think out there, people? What do you think about the Flash? They should just do a really bad Photoshop and just Photoshop Ezra Miller's face and just put in Justin Bieber / Mr. or Mrs. Page's picture there. I think that would work. Why it has to be trans, I have no idea. I can't. Bear has no idea. None whatsoever. Yes, indeed. All right, once again, bounding in the comments, and JB Augustine. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, gosh darn it. Get off the keyboard. For crying out loud. Anyways, we moving along here. Can we not just do a Michael Keaton Batman Return movie? That's what Bear said. Just like cut everything. Apparently he's in every scene, so I don't know how you do that. But yeah, just cut out all the Michael Keaton stuff and just make it like a short. 25 minutes or something like that. Put it up on, HBO Plus. I keep trying to say Warner Brothers Plus. Why they put HBO in there, I don't know. HBO Plus, put it up there. HBO Max, whatever the hell it is. Put it up on that thing. Write it off as a loss. People enjoy. I think also they were going to have Ben Affleck come back as well. And that would have been neat. I would have liked to have seen Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton kind of go back and forth. That would have been kind of interesting there. But I know they're going to reshoot the entire thing, apparently, for whatever reason, with Ellen Page, whatever. Yeah. All right, well, going from one crazy movie to another one out there. I'm sure some of you have heard of the Where the Crawdads Sing movie. This is from the New York Post, and Johnny Olensky out there. Johnny Olensky. Where the Crawdads Sing author is wanted in question in African murder. A years-old controversy surrounding the author of the 2018 novel Where the Crawdads Sing has re-emerged days before a starry movie adaptation is due to hit theaters. A writer, Delia Owens, and her ex-husband Mark and his son Christopher have been wanted for questioning in a murder case in Zambia since the mid-1990s. In the ensuing years, her hugely popular book about a young woman growing up on a North Carolina marsh has sold 12 million copies and is the source material for the new Sony film out Friday starring Daisy Edgar Jones. Pick a name, lady. And produced by Reese Witherspoon. Owens also wrote The Secrets in Savannah in 2006. Really branching out there, lady. But as Zambia's head of public prosecution told The Atlantic this week, there's no statute of limitations on murder in Zambia. They're all wanted for questioning in this case, including Delia Owens. Delia, wait, where is she? Where is she? I don't see her there. There. Oh, okay. Very well camouflaged. Bear was looking at the bird in the background. And there we are. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure. When you're wanted for murder, you probably don't want to have pictures of yourself with a gun just kind of hanging out there. Writer Jeffrey Goldberg has chronicled the scandalous story for the New Yorker and the Atlantic since 2010, which hinges on a disturbing 1996 ABC documentary called Deadly Game, the Mark and Delia Owens story on the program Turning Point. The TV episode is purportedly about the animal-loving American family. The Owenses, saving vulnerable African elephants and other wildlife since the 1970s. Then, in a shocking turn, a possible poacher is shown in full view being shot to death. You don't want to have that. You don't want to have that on camera, do you? We would witness the ultimate price paid by the suspected poacher, narrated by Diane Sawyer. Really, said in the episode, adding the body. I gotta hold on. I gotta do a news person voice here. All right, let's try this. The bodies of the poachers are often left where they fall for the animals to eat. Conservation, morality, Africa. Ooh, that's good. I like that. Conservation, morality, the woods. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Neither the shooter nor the victim were identified in the documentary. But the cameraman, Chris Evans, claimed to Goldberg it was actually Christopher Owens, a then 25, not a hired Zambian game scout. Does that make a difference? Somebody still died. Who fired at least one gunshot that killed the man. A Zambian police detective further alleged that his father, Mark, then put the dead body in a cargo net and disposed of it in a lagoon. Ooh. The Owenses deny all of this. Except for when you're photographed with a gun right there. That's pretty good. The family fled the country shortly after the ABC broadcast, just as an investigation into the murder began. What any innocent person would do. Additional damning allegations are included in the New Yorker report, suggesting that the family encouraged a culture of fear and violence in pursuit of their animal rescue goals. Bear would approve of that. Sources told the newspaper that the Owens' scouts would torture poachers, tie them to stakes, and let them bake in the sun. Mark also faxed a letter to a nearby professional hunter, saying, quote, 2 poachers have been killed and 1 wounded that I know of thus far, and we're just getting warmed up. Ooh. According to the Atlantic, Mark, Delia, and Christopher Owens are still wanted for questioning related to the killing of the alleged poacher, as well as other possible criminal activities in North Lukwanga. Lukwanga. North Lukwanga. There we go. Where are you from? I'm from North Lukwanga. Delia, 73. Not too bad for 73. Denied any wrongdoing in the interview with Goldberg, saying, quote, we don't know anything about it. The only thing Mark ever did was throw firecrackers out of his airplane, but just to scare poachers, not to hurt anyone. Not to hurt anyone with firecrackers being thrown out. They have a little bit of a difference. I mean, sometimes, is it like an M80 or, I don't know, he might have been throwing out, dynamite out of his plane. Beer would approve of that. Yet the fallout for them has been swift. Even for Taylor Swift, oh my God. Oh. Just when you thought you can get through the news story without Taylor Swift taking a prominent role in it, you were bitten. For crying out, Taylor Swift just comes right on in. Where the hell did that come from? That was a left turn. When the pop star's new song for the movie called Carolina was announced, she got backlash online for participating in the project. Regardless, it still plays over the end credits. at the film's low-key premiere Monday night at the Museum of Modern Art, Witherspoon's Edgar Jones and co-stars Harris Dixon and Taylor John Smith. What? Oh, must be a different. I'm like, Taylor, what? She changed her name. We're all in attendance, but not Owens while she is doing some press for the movie. The location where she lives today is disputed. Still, even with the author wanted for questioning any foreign murder, director Olivia Newman emotionally thanked her on stage in front of a packed house. What a sentence. I love that. That's great. Yes, I love that. There we go. There you are. There you are. Let's see, where is it? Yep, he looks pretty dead there. Looks pretty dead there. And this lady is taking him out left and right with firecrackers. With only firecrackers. We just meant to scare them. That's all. No biggie. Johnny Oletsky from the New York Post. That's neat. Yes, neat. All right, people. I know we come here for the comics. Sometimes we stick around for the movie news out there. But Bear knows his audience out there. We know what you come here for. You come here for the crypto talk out there. Yes, indeed. We're talking about from the Tampa Bay Times out there. Tampa's, people, did you know that Outback actually is based in Tampa? Bear thought it was actually based in, I don't know, Australia? Crikey. Tampa's Outback made Bloomin NFTs, and they were gone in 20 minutes. The NFTs could be redeemed for food. Finally, people. Bear has found a use for NFTs. All right, we will go on. Jay Cridlin? We'll go with Cridlin there. Yes, indeed. The baby onions are adorable. Tiny little buds with big, shiny eyes. The teenage onions have props and a little bit more personality with their stalks, tousled in different hairstyles. The adult onions are fully bloomed with deep-fried petals. And, actually, I've actually got it right here. Why is Beer talking about it? Let me show you good people. There we are. There is our NFT onions there. Let me see if I can resize that. There we go. Finally a use for NFTs out there. Yes, indeed. There we are. Let's see, moving on. That's the life cycle of the Bloomin' Bud, the name given to Outback Steakhouse first series. It's a first, oh my goodness, of non-fungible tokens or NFTs. Outback, the flagship brand of Tampa's Bloomin' Brands, a restaurant group, gave out more than 8,000 free digital images June 23rd in one of the company's first big swings in the metaverse. The metaverse out there. Excuse me. Let's see. Customers could redeem the NFTs for a free Bloomin' Onion and 2 Dr. Peppers, not just 1, but 2. Where the onions blossomed on June 27th, that would be National Onion Day. They were gone in 20 minutes. Quote, it was never intended to be about promotions or discount offers, said Bloomin' Brands Chief Marketing Officer Danelle Vona. Vona? We'll go with that. It was intended to be, how do we engage audiences in this platform that we know are young, sports-oriented, college sports fans? How do we engage people in that and be relevant in that space? I don't know. B-Mike says, Pew, I'm always worried a bear would forget the NFT news. Well, did not forget today. Outback is far from the first brand to launch NFTs featuring its artwork of its products. McDonald's, Nike, and Coca-Cola all have their own unique, identifiable digital tokens for collectors to purchase, quote-unquote, collectors. Trade and in some cases redeem. Outback's Bloomin' Bud experiment has, by early indicators, been a success for the company, one they plan to expand on this fall through paid sponsorships, partnerships, whatever, with college athletics. For retail establishments like Outback, this is a pretty standard way of thinking about how they might use NFTs. The primary benefit to them is the publicity and the advertising value that comes with launching this NFT. In the weeks since Outback began development in the campaign in March, the NFT and cryptocurrency industries have been hit by a slight wave of negative headlines about hacked wallets, stolen tokens, and of course the plunging value of Bitcoin and Ether. Studies have shown that NFTs can be damaging to the environment. Whatever. Moving on. It didn't feel like we're dipping our toe into those spaces in any way that would be concerning for the company or for the brand, Vona said. We didn't have as much concern when those type of stories hit. Although we were watching them, and if we did see something that was dramatic, we could have made the change at any time. Once minted, NFTs can take a life of their own. While Outback gave out each one for free in order to trade or sell them on a platform like OpenSea, owners had to pay transaction fees or gas fees that worked out to a few bucks per bud. Or, in case if they were doing it whenever they were doing the huge land sale a couple weeks back, could have been a couple $1,000s, you never know. That still left room for unpredictable value swings. No way. No way. In NFTs? Let's see. OpenSea's logs recently traded value. OpenSea's logs show recently traded valuing Outback's NFTs for $20, $30, $50 in Ether, or a cryptocurrency. One Bloomin Bud with rainbow waves and laser eyes sold on June 25th for more than $430. Going by the value of Ether to US dollars at the time. It's probably went down since then. The deal for the free Bloomin' Onion and Dr. Peppers don't expire. There is some real-world value to the NFTs. Finally, even if it's only Dr. Pepper, with the unredeemed codes. Luther said that programs like this could eventually evolve into something like a loyalty program. You can imagine a business having a half-off Wednesday for all NFT holders, and if that was the case, then you wouldn't actually redeem the NFT at your visit to an Outback like you would with a coupon. You would just present it, but maintain ownership of it, and then whoever's holding it could collect the reward as long as the offer is valid. There you go. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Oh, it is a very hot space right now, Vona said. Will it be the same in the fall? I don't know, but we're going to continue to work on it. By that time, the industry could look a lot different. It's a strange space. A lot of people will look at Outback issuing a non-fungible token and think, that's weird, that's crazy. Why would they do that? But they also sponsor a National Onion Day. Is that really any weirder? No, not really. No, the answer to your question is no. No, not at all. Not at all. But anyways, there we go. Here's our NFT Bloomin' Onions out there. Unfortunately, they're all gone, but maybe you can get what else do they sell there at Outback? It's like shrimp on a Barbie, maybe? Maybe you can get a shrimp on the Barbie NFT. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let me grab a drink here. All right. Well, speaking of schemes and scams out there, we've got one coming out of India. India. Indian farmers. This is the Verge. Emma Roth out there. Indian farmers streamed a fake pro cricket matches to Russia bettors for 2 weeks, complete with fake sound effects and a professional sounding commentator. Yes, indeed. There they are. There they are. I tell you, the one time that Bear was looking for Jiminy Cricket, and he's just not around. I tell you what, this is the story for him. A group of Indian farmers set up a fake Indian Premier League cricket tournament, so convincing that they managed to trick a Russian audience into making real bets. According to a report from the Times of India, the fake games took place on a farm in the village of... Oh, gosh, I don't know how you pronounce that. Gujarat? Gujarat. It took place in a village in India, with 21 farm laborers and unemployed teens who were paid the high price of 400 rupees, or about $5, and tasked with impersonating pro cricket players from well-known Indian teams. That would be Indians with the dot, not the feather. The farmers reportedly live-streamed the tournament to YouTube. Oh, that would be cool. Over the course of 2 weeks, and even set up a Telegram channel dedicated to the games. That's where they took bets from Russian gamblers located in Tver, in Moscow. Despite the fact that the actual IPL's 2022 season closed out in late May. But the farmers managed to dupe its Russian audience anyways, thanks to some clever thinking and a makeshift setup. And they set up 5 HD cameras and halogen lights around the field, as well as added sound effects that mimicked noise from a real crowd. Players swapped between jerseys belonging to the Super Kings, the Indians, of course, and the Titans, while a, quote, umpire paraded the field with walkie-talkies. As the games progressed, one man took the role of the famous cricket commentator, we all know Harsha Bogahu, who actually acknowledged the group's epic scam on Twitter. Still trying to figure out how to pronounce his name. Bahogo? Bahago? Bahaga. I will go with that. Shoaib Dever, one of the main masterminds behind the phony tournament, fed instructions to the umpire based on the live bets that they were receiving from the Russians. The umpire would then make a signal to the batsman and bowler to steer bets in their favor. Indian police busted 4 of the savvy conmen during the tournament's quote-unquote quarterfinals, who were just taking delivery of a $3,000 bet from Russia before they got shut down. Oh, that's too bad. It's kind of funny when, usually it's the Russians that are scamming people out of money, so it's nice that, the tables were turned there. I have no idea what's going on here. Beer listens to crickets out there, but he's never played the game cricket before, so there you go. Luckily he didn't lose any money betting on fake cricket out there. Yes, dude. All right. Well, of course, P-Money thought I had forgotten all about the NFTs out there. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. It just, I tell you what. I mean, when you talk about, $1 billion here, $500,000 there, that's, $500 million there, that sort of deal. Sometimes some of these smaller, only $2, $30, $40 million scams out there, they're just kind of tiny. So, you gotta kind of find the bigger ones out there. So, X Infinity out there, kind of a sort of, I guess, NFT game out there. Let's see, from Bleeping Computer, Bill Tortoise, hacker stole $620 million from X. Is it X? XE? I thought it was X. Anyways, whatever. Infinity via fake job interviews. The hack caused, how do you pronounce it, losses of $620 million in crypto, starting with a fake job offer from North Korean hackers to one of the game's developers. Well, I tell you what, one of the places you probably don't want to be hired for is in North Korea. By the way, they were really, really angry there in North Korea because the price of all of the cryptos have went down, and North Korea's made quite a sort of big deal about scamming people, hacking people with cryptocurrency. That was kind of a sort of big money maker for them. So they're kind of really ticked off that all that money is dried up here lately. So, anyways, just a small amount of $620 million. Tiny amount. Yes, indeed. Alright, moving quickly along here, people. Very briefly, I didn't want to read the whole thing, I just thought this was funny. So, let's see, the drive. Nico Dementia? Whatever. What the heck? You see the headline here. You're like, oh my god, racism, sexual harassment at the F1 Austrian Grand Prix forces drivers, FIA, to respond. You're thinking, oh my god, what's going on? What's going on with all these orange people there? Orange man bad. Orange man bad. So you get into this, you're thinking, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever prior to the start of Sunday's 2022 F1. Reports of racism, sexism, homophobia, and just flat-out hateful language are being shouted by fans on social media. Twitter exploded with first-hand accounts of audience members being verbally and, in some cases, even physically attacked by other members of the crowd. Ooh, this sounds pretty serious, people. Very serious indeed. In fact, the FIA had been made aware of the situation and released a statement. We've been made aware of reports that some fans have been subject to completely unacceptable comments by others at the Austrian Grand Prix. So, what was it? What was the offenses out there? We gotta get a little bit more into the article to find that out. Judging by many of the reports from fans and attendants, the majority of the abuses was towards women. Drunk fans were reportedly catcalling, singing despicable songs, and even threatening women in the crowd. Well, that kind of is a long way away from, I would say, racism and homophobia. So that's probably not the way that we want to go about it. I don't know. One woman said her dress was pulled up by a drunk Vestapurian fan because, according to them, she was, quote, a Lewis Hamilton fan. Well, therefore, she did not deserve respect. I gotta agree with that. Taking a look at social media, and Reddit provides a seemingly endless stream of horrific behavior in the audience in Austria. But the worst part is that none of this seemed new. Oh no! You mean to tell me that drunk fans at a race were catcalling women? How dare they? How dare they, sir? How dare they? Anyways, moving along, that was just kind of one of these, you read the headline, you're thinking, oh my God, and, look, I mean, you don't want to be, hey, baby, what's going on? Blah. I mean, it's kind of stupid and everything, but headline worthy, FIA needs to respond to your catcalling to say, hey, baby, whatever. I don't know. Maybe something is lost in translation there. It could be. It could be, people. Alright, let me try and figure out 1 second here. Oh, I've had the frickin' Bloomin' Onion up forever. And that would probably be one reason why people are scratching their heads. Probably be. Anyways, I'll have to remember that catcalling women is homophobic and also racist, apparently. I don't know. Alright, let me get this, because, Bear cannot get his sound to work, but hopefully the visuals will be in and of itself here. So let me get rid of that and bring up 1 second here, people. I think this might be something that people would be interested in. Hopefully people have seen this. Oh, I can put the arrows back up. There we go. Very cool. There is a Robocop game coming out. Yes, indeed, a Robocop game. So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm sorry about the sound. Not going to be any sound there, but I think the visuals will be in and of themselves. Plus, they got a closed captioning there. I don't know. I hear sound, but I don't think it is on YouTube there. But it looks really cool. It looks like they're trying to take it right from the end of the first movie, or maybe the second movie there. So they got Peter Weller to do the voice on there, and some of the other voice actors as well. So very cool. Looks like they're going to be recreating some of the stuff from the very first movie there. So very cool. Bear is looking forward to this. Yes, indeed. Except for all the guns. I tell you what. Why do these people gotta be the guns? But I like the throwing of the guy against the wall there. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. And it looks like it's got some of the same ultra-violent, but also kind of some of the same humor there as well. So this looks very cool. Bear's looking forward to that. So, anyways. Yeah, I think they got a different guy for the OCP, but other than that, very cool. Very cool. I don't know if they got some of the same writers to come back and do some of it, but it looks like it. And here's Peter Weller here. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool indeed here. So there is, unfortunately, it's coming out next year. Next year, unfortunately. So, Bear's gotta wait. Gotta get through another year before he tries out the Robocop game. Very cool. Oh, can we expect Bear Let's Play Robocop live stream? Very cool. Well, you're gonna have to wait a year. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. Bear actually kind of one of the things that Bear's kind of considering is maybe doing some gaming streaming out there. A side thing here, just kind of a side comment here. Bear looking for something to talk about the other day, was like, okay, what can I do? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, they have the new James Bond movie that's free. Not the new one, but the one that just came out here. No time to buy. Bear had no time to watch it. It was on there. Bear was like, maybe not. I don't know. Ended up going and watching, I don't have the name of the channel right up here, but there's a channel out there that's replaying all of the Metal Gear Solid games out there. So Bear actually was watching, never played the third game. Played 2 and 4 and 5, but never played Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater. They got the great music and all that stuff. Great. Anyways, ended up watching a game playthrough in the movies or cutscenes there. Ended up watching that rather than in James Bond. Probably a better James Bond movie than James Bond was. So I don't know. Kind of thinking Bear's got a saved version of the second Red Dead Redemption game, the sort of Western game. That might be kind of an interesting thing. Bear kind of had a thought of. It's very interesting. That game, the story is very anti-socialism. So it had a very pro-freedom, anti-socialism message to it. So that might be interesting to explore. The other one Bear got the other day, the Oregon Trail game. That's kind of interesting there. I don't know if people would want to watch, a bear get dysentery or something like that. That might be kind of silly, but I don't know. I had the Gran Turismo game, but I don't know if that's very interesting for people there. But I don't know. If people have a interest in watching Bear do a gaming stream, we'll check it out. Maybe I'd need to figure out how to do it there, but we'll consider that, P-Money. We will definitely consider that for you. All right, let's see. What else? Where was Bear? Was that it? Let me check. That was it. Oh, Robocop was the end of it. I tell you what, people. The hour just flies by, people. I can't. I wish I could bottle it up and just kind of stretch it out just a little bit. But there we go. We actually talked, little video game stuff. I talked a little bit about some of the crazy movies that's coming out, and some of the crazy comics that are coming out, and some of the, I guess, different ways of promoting your book out there, whether you're a Cyberfrog fan or whether you're a, what's the name of it? Is it in Psalm or something like that? I forget the name of Young Ripa's comic book out there. It was like an acronym or something like that. Anyways, his book, if you want to check out his book, or your boy Zach. Hopefully it's still for. I don't think it's still for $1 there, but you had the chance to get a book for $1. I tell you what, some great stuff out there. So hopefully, a Bear's hope here is that hopefully it might light a little bit of fire under Uncle E's butt there. Hopefully getting a Cyberfrog book out there. Hopefully competing with some of these other folks there that might be taking the crown. Might be taking that Comics Gate crown away. So very cool, very interesting, something to kind of look forward to out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get off of that. Go back there. Yes, indeed. So once again, Bear, thanks everybody. Actually, to circle back to P-Money, he was asking about the photos here. It is the celebration week here for Bear. Coming up on the 4-year anniversary here on Friday. I think it's the 15th that Bear remembers correctly. So don't know if Bear will do a show on Friday. Might have a little bit going on Friday, but definitely on Saturday, we'll definitely celebrate there. So definitely want to check out the show on Saturday. Have a little bit of fun. and some adventure too as well. So once again, I gotta send a shout out to our very newest moderator, Jeff Potts out there. P Money, yes indeed. Who else? VM here. VM here asked about cash grab. I think the name speaks for itself out there. Yes indeed. So once again, want to thank everybody out there, including our Russian bots and the lurkers out there. I do appreciate you as well. But you know what? Bears, all this stuff made Bear hungry, so he's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr.